Sean Patel, FightHype.com here with the man who fought them all at middleweight in those days, Golovkin, and everybody else, Sergio Martinez, Matthew Macklin. Matthew, who do you fancy in this fight, Wilder or Ortiz in this rematch?
I think it's hard to look past Wilder, but I do think that Ortiz is a live underdog. He definitely is dangerous. He's very, very well schooled, technically brilliant fighter. Technically a better fighter than Wilder, but Wilder carries that dynamite in both hands, and his boxing savvy and ring savvy and IQ is underrated. He's he can have all the power in the world, but if you don't land them, it doesn't matter. And he lands them, and against good fighters when he needs to, he finds the gaps, he gets the shots, and always closes the show. So I think you have to favour Wilder, but I definitely appreciate the threat that Ortiz brings to the table here. He's a very technically well-schooled boxer, and he carries the power to hurt Wilder too. He had him out on his feet in the last fight, so it's a dangerous fight for Wilder, but one I think he comes through.
Ortiz, when he had him out on his feet in that seventh, the round ended shortly thereafter, and it looked like he punched himself out a little bit.
Yeah.
He hires the great strength coach Larry Wade. Do you think that'll be enough? Say he's got better conditioning this time. Is that enough?
Yeah, but I think also when you hurt someone, you've got to be careful, because you hurt them, you get an opportunity. You want to try and go for the finish, definitely. But if it's not, and this is a judgment call when you're in the midst of it, and it's like an instinct. If it's not there, what do? You keep trying,
right,
and possibly put yourself out, or you pull back a bit, and keep the gas for later on, and maybe get a second opportunity. But I suppose you get someone like Wilder who's so dangerous hurt, you try and throw everything into it, and he definitely did gas out at that. He gassed out. He punched himself out, and I think it's quite noticeable. Everyone's saying how much better, leaner he looks. He's lost 20 pounds, so I think he's worked hard on his conditioning. And also not carrying that extra weight, he'll be more mobile,
right,
more agile. His speed, his movement will be better. So I think Ortiz means business, and he's coming for the win, no doubt. But Wilder, he's the favourite for sure.
Well, Ortiz is saying someone's getting knocked out, and you almost even get the sense he might come out quicker. Is that a bad idea? So should he just wait for his opportunity to come again, like he did in the first fight?
I think he should wait for his opportunity, because don't change who you are, in my opinion, for Ortiz. You're a clever technical boxer that tries to set traps, and I think that's what he should stick to. If he tries to come out all guns blazing, I don't know. I wouldn't go into a shootout with Wilder. You know what I mean? I think he should be. He's a thinking man's fighter, Ortiz, and I think he should stick to that.
Speaking to the traps you said about Ortiz, does Wilder set traps as well to get that right hand off, you feel? Or
yeah, like I say, I think he's ring savvy, his boxing IQ is underrated. He's not. Sometimes he's unorthodox, and he does throw some haymakers sometimes that aren't technically in a textbook, but he's effective and it works for him. But he wouldn't have achieved what he's achieved and got to where he's got on just power alone. He's not. He doesn't just carry power. He would have been exposed by now if that's all he had.
Well, it's funny though when I ask about the traps and things like that, the IQ fighter. You and Devin Haney, lots of guys who have been at the top of boxing. They do chuckle for a second, like. I don't want to get too far praising his boxing IQ and his skills.
He's a ferocious puncher. That's his standout feature, without a doubt. But he's still good in other areas. He may not be, look, his power is his big thing, but he's.
What about his speed? What about his speed?
His speed, I think he's got decent speed. He's never really been outspeeded. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the other thing, when you find someone like Wilder who hits so hard, carries that power, you're constantly under threat. You're burning nervous energy at a far quicker rate. And if you're boxing a guy that can't punch, you can sit there. You don't have to flinch or react as much. You know what I mean? But when you're watching someone like Wilder, you're on high alert. You're kind of cut ready. You're reacting to everything. He gives you a feint, you're going to react to it because he carries that power. So all your senses are heightened. Which drains the battery a lot quicker. So you know, it's trying to relax in there against someone like that. But like I said, that's easier said than done when they carry that kind of power.
Is that why sometimes the pace in his fights are slow? Is the other guy just doesn't want to make a mistake?
Yeah, totally. You know, because he's got that power, he commands respect. He can dictate and control things because the threat, even if nothing's happening, it's the anticipation of something happening. People are like wary. They're very, like you said, they're totally switched on. They're like very wary of making a mistake that they're going to pay for. Because you know, if you make a mistake with him, it could be over.
So ultimately, is he your pick for the night?
Yeah, I think so. I think I think most people will pick Wilder in this fight. But like I said, it's not a foregone conclusion by any means. Like Ortiz showed that he can hurt him. Even though he lost the fight, he'll take a lot of confidence from that fight, and he's obviously looked at things like his conditioning. He'll think, you know, if I catch him again, either I need to go all out and get the finish, or maybe if I don't, I'll go for it. But if I don't get it, maybe I'm just going to pull back and, you know, bide my time and try and get another opportunity.
You see it happening earlier or about the same time as the last fight, or even a decision?
I don't know. You just don't know. These guys I mean, in heavyweight boxing, I think. No, I think Wilder knocks him out midway, something like that. I don't think early on, because I think Ortiz is too cagey and cute and clever. But I think, you know, the fight will open up, and I think Wilder will land a shot and knock him out.
And Matthew, what are you looking for in this fight towards the Fury rematch? What are you looking for in Wilder in looking ahead to the Fury rematch?
Yeah, nothing really, because they're different fighters. Ortiz and Fury are different. You know, I can't. You know, Wilder. You know, I think Ortiz brings different problems to what Fury does. Fury's, you know, he's good at those little half steps. Ortiz is quite accurate shot, where Fury's very mobile, hands down, a lot of mind games as well. Psychologically, sticking his chin out, and you know, it's a different fight. But look, I think everyone in boxing wants to see the Fury rematch. So,
right,
you know, even though I like Ortiz and I've got nothing against him, but I do want Wilder to win because I want to see the Fury rematch. But I think it's a good fight Saturday night, and I think the Fury rematch is a great fight.
Matthew, obviously, you fought the best. So, when Ben Davison says in the back of Wilder's mind, there's a worry that he could get outclassed and embarrassed in a rematch, made to look silly, Wilder comes back with, no. In the back of Fury's mind, he knows he could have his brain splattered on the canvas. He could get really hurt. Which one is more true if you're a fighter heading into that kind of fight? Which one of those statements holds more weight?
Yeah, I think both statements are a bit true, and both can say they've got the antidote to that, because at the end of the day, yeah, Fury did outbox Wilder at times, but Wilder also stayed in there and found the shots, and you know, I actually thought Fury did enough to get the decision.
Right.
But I don't think the 113 wasn't outrageous. You know what I mean? It was okay. Yeah, maybe. But the other card that had Wilder winning, I thought that was wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was a bad card. You know, look, Fury. Look, it's not a secret. Fury's the better boxer. You know what I mean? But Wilder's good enough of a boxer that is, you know, Fury's got to think too. You know, and Wilder carries power, but also Fury's got a good chin. He did catch him, he did drop him, but he got up. And you know, that was after a 2.5 year, I think it was a 2.5 year layoff he had. He'd had 2 glorified sparring sessions really in preparation for the Wilder
Did the Wallin fight and him going 12 make you say, you change anything of what you think about Fury heading into the ring?
I think that, here's the thing. I think Fury going into the Wilder fight is a much better Fury that went into the first fight. But I also think Wilder will be better because I think Wilder underestimated Fury going into the first fight. Now Wilder knows Fury's the real deal. He can really box, you know what I mean? So I think both of them will be better in the rematch.
And lastly, should we get to the rematch, we're months away, but do you lean towards either guy? You said you think they'll both be better.
I think they'll both be better. I mean, I probably lean to Fury, but you know, Wilder carries big power. I mean, I lean to Fury. I think he's the better boxer, and I think bar getting caught, I think he outboxes Wilder. But you know, he's got to stay super switched on for 12 rounds because Wilder only needs one shot.